I've grown mostly indeterminate tomatoes for quite a few years because that's where that great heirloom taste was at. But last year I tried several dwarf tomatoes from the Dwarf Tomato Project, and I was really impressed by what I saw. This year I'm growing even more varieties, and I'm going to show you 6 different ones today, and I'll show you exactly how they're doing here in the early part of July. This year hasn't been a great weather year for growing tomatoes. We had some really cold weather in early May, then we had some really hot weather just a couple of weeks later, and it's been hot ever since. By now, if I was growing indeterminates, they would have been 5 or 6 feet tall, but the tallest one of these plants is about 4 feet tall. They've done pretty well, even with the unfavorable weather. So let's go take a look at them. First up is Boronia, and right now it's standing about 33 inches tall and has 10 tomatoes on it. The only thing that I pruned on this one are the lower leaves. Not only does it have a decent amount of tomatoes on it for the weather we've had, but the tomatoes look nice and uniform, and I'm really looking forward to tasting one. I found a little extra room over by the horseradish, so I stuck another one of these over there, and it's standing at about 32 inches tall and has 6 tomatoes on it, even though it was started very late compared to the other one. Next is the Brandy Fred, and it didn't get a fair shake because it got stuck out in the garden very late to replace another plant, but it has no tomatoes on it and is standing about 30 inches tall. Next is Tasmanian Chocolate. I grew this one last year and I liked it, so I planted it again this year. And we've already picked 1 tomato off of it, and it has another one getting ripe now. And it still has 13 tomatoes on it and is standing about 42 inches tall. I also pruned the lower leaves on this one, and I pruned a couple of suckers, but not much other than that. It does have a little more foliage than I would like, but nothing compared to an indeterminate. Next is Firebird Sweet, and this is one of the 2 that you guys picked for me to grow. And it's standing about 42 inches tall and has 10 tomatoes on it. As you can see, these have green stripes at this stage, but as the tomatoes ripen, those green stripes will change to gold color, making for a very attractive fruit. This is another one that I'm really looking forward to tasting, and as soon as we get enough ripe ones, I'll start doing some taste test videos. On the end of the row, we have Dwarf Mr Snow, and this is the other one that you guys picked for me to grow. And out of all the dwarf tomatoes I'm growing this year, this is by far the tallest. And it's standing at about 4 feet tall right now and has 5 tomatoes on it. It's kind of gotten off to a late start compared to the rest of them as far as tomato size, so all the tomatoes are still pretty small. It's also produced quite a bit of foliage and suckers, so it's going to have to taste pretty good for me to grow it again. This one was another very late addition to the garden. Its name is LaRue ochre. It's standing at about 42 inches tall and has 4 tomatoes on it, but the tomatoes look really nice. And this one gets kind of an orange color when ripe, and it's another one that I'm really looking forward to tasting. Like I mentioned, I added it late, so if it tastes good at all, I might give it another shot next year. If you've ever grown dwarf tomatoes, let us know about it down in the comments. And if you're just now finding this channel, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.